Hello there. Welcome back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself, stand-up comedy and lifestyle podcast I host here out of my apartment. Has a lot of South Carolina-based comics, friends of friends, and other guests too. It's Monday, the week of July 26, 2021. Monday! I hope you guys are having a great start to your morning. I am extremely excited because this week I am taking vacation. So on Wednesday morning, I'll be leaving and flying home to Michigan to see my family. I'm so excited. Vacation's important. Comedy can burn you out just like anything else. And work and all this stuff. So I will be out this week, but and I'm very excited, but we still do have a great week of comedy here, and we have a great guest today. My guest today is Kirkland Manning. He is one of my good and new friends here in South Carolina, and he is one of the most likable guys I've ever seen on stage. He kind of just has this natural, like, oh shucks, like, hey man, like, oh, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. He's just got this southern white guy, goofy kind of energy, and he tells stories on stage. Just a naturally funny, likable, awesome guy. So I cannot wait to see him continue to develop. He started this year, but in a couple of years, this guy is gonna be somebody, he's going to be a murderer. Yeah. In stand-up, that's a good thing. I think most people know that. That dude murders. Yeah. I don't think Kirkland actually murders. No, but he's going to be a good comic. So, and we had a really fun conversation, very easy. The hour flew by. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Before we do the interview, though, here's what's happening in local comedy this week. Standard slate of open mics starting tonight. Coffee Underground, 7 o'clock, hosted by No Expectations Comedy and Craig Holcomb. Get there before 7 to sign up. That mic's starting to get pretty full, so get there a little early. After that, Habib's Mediterranean Restaurant, hosted by Dante Anderson. All jokes aside, starting at 8. That's a really fun room, too. You never know what you're going to get at Habib's. Great spot to try new material, work on crowd work, mess around, just have fun. Tuesday night, Doolittle's in Anderson, Electric City Comedy, hosted by Robin Scott. Our very own Whitney Rayner is featuring, so she's doing extended time. And look at that, Whitney. She's just getting booked, featuring shows. So yeah, she's doing great, and go out, catch Whitney, support her, watch her do extended time. This week, Wednesday, there's no open mic. Radio Room has a music event in town, so if you want to go to Radio Room, check it out and see a concert. I don't know who's playing, but support Radio Room. They're great. Comedy Zone this Thursday, Jokes Out Loud open mic is back. There are 2 slots left online. I won't be there, so I just actually turned off the slot just opened back up because I just opened it back up. And I think there's one other slot available. So if you're seeing this, get online, sign up. Friday night, Liberty Joke Show at the Pickens County Performing Arts Center, 8 o'clock, $10 cover. Go see that. Squeaky clean, family-friendly comedy show, as always. And this weekend, we have a special local show, Comics You Should Know. I'm really excited they're doing this. This is a show on the big stage featuring local comedians. Jazz Gill and Scooter are going to be performing. They're fantastic. They're some of the funniest people I know. And they've been doing comedy for several years. And then we have some newer comics as well. Mike Brushaber, Paul Snyder, Yunko Boudreaux, and Shelly Belly. Did I say her yet? Yeah. They're going to be performing on the big stage this weekend, so that's really exciting. We're promoting local talent here, so that'll be great. So get tickets at greenvillecomedyzone.com or in person. And then last but not least, the Sunday Night Mic is hosted by Chris Wilson at Pub and Spirits. That is at 8 o'clock, free of charge on Sunday night. All right. That's it for local comedy. I may or may not have an episode next week just because I'll be on vacation, but we'll definitely be back the following week. So anyway, I hope you all have a great week and hope you enjoy the interview with Kirkland. Here it is. All right, we're starting. Welcome back. We have another interview. Our guest today is Kirkland Manning.
What's going on?
So we just did the sound check on the thing, and then we played it back and heard our own voices in real time. It's the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Oh, it's awful.
Like,
Man, I can't imagine like being the person who does the voice for cartoons and stuff. Nah, that's okay. I don't need to hear my own voice.
At least with a cartoon, it's like a character. You can kind of detach yourself from it being you.
That's true.
This is just our dumbasses on tape.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
Yeah. Do you record your stand-up sets?
I try to as much as possible, but like I said, man, I just don't like hearing myself. I would rather just write it down or have somebody else record it and tell me what's going on.
Can you watch the video back?
No. I don't like to do that. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you record yours.
I record all of them.
Yeah.
I don't like to. I do it, but
I like that you put them up on YouTube.
I
I
just took them all down.
No way. Why'd you take
I
them
didn't know.
down?
Well, I thought nobody was watching them. I just wanted to have a record of it. And then I guess doing more of the podcast stuff, people would go to YouTube to watch the podcast, and then they're there as well.
That's perfect.
And then you go back and watch old sets, and you're like, this is
that
cringy.
I get.
Yeah. So I just put them, and then I forgot people would watch them, and then so now a lot of them are private. But
did you ever like pick like, all right, I know I did well with this set, so you put that on YouTube, or did you just put every one of them on?
I put ones that I thought were good at the time.
Yeah.
But then it's weird because like after a few months, you're like, that wasn't good at all. And it's like you feel like an idiot for posting them. So
you know, like I'm pretty new to stand up.
Yeah.
And like within like the first 2 months, somebody, it might have been you, said record your set. You know.
Yeah.
So
Brandon gives that advice too. Brandon Rainwater.
Yes.
That's a big advice for him.
And so I did, and so I recorded my set, and I went on stage, and I remember thinking, oh my God, like I just killed that. Like I did so well. Like I thought I did great that night, and I could.
You probably did, dude.
I could not wait to get in my car and listen to it. Like such an idiot, you know.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that too. If I have a good set, I want to watch it right away.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got in the car and I was listening to it on the way back, and all you could hear was like 4 or 5 laughs like in the background, and I was like, oh, I did terrible. Like my ego made me feel like I heard a few laughs, and I thought I killed.
Yeah.
But there was like 6 or 7 laughs maybe.
Well, it could have been the phone audio. Terrible. It could have been the phone audio.
I think it's my brain playing tricks on me.
What kind of phone do you have? Is it Android?
No.
It's an iPhone?
No, it's an iPhone.
Oh, you got pretty good audio.
Pretty good audio.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The best audio.
No, I know you do well
because,
dude, I've seen you do great, and it's awesome.
Not many times.
So like I'll do an introduction thing before to like explain who you are and stuff. But like you've been doing stand up for the last like this year, right? Like 5-6 months.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
When you started it? Were you one of the people that had come to the open mics to observe first before?
Yes.
How many open mics did you come to before you decided to do it yourself?
Just one, and you were there.
Really?
I was watching you, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you were the only person that night who did well.
Oh.
I remember that, and I remember thinking to myself after you went on stage, you were the only person that went on stage, and I was like, you know, okay, I can't do better than him, but everybody else, they were bombing, and you did really well that night.
You're really nice.
No, it's true. You were the only one who did well.
This is why I had you on.
No. Yeah, that's right.
No, that's well, it's cool to know because like I feel like a lot of people that you talk to, like they'll come to the open mics first. Like Jimmy Matthews is his last name, right? Jimmy and
My
Mike
twin
Broshaber.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah, your twin. Yeah, you guys reminded me of each other early on.
Yeah.
But you guys would like people come like they're kind of curious, like okay, and then you see how how amateur it is, and
and we just add to the amateur when we get there.
No, dude, I love your stand up. So Kirkland, your style of stand up is very true to who you are.
Be very careful. My ego is very
dude, me too. But like you tell stories. about what actually happens to you.
Yeah.
And I like that because nobody knows what they're doing when they start. So like the best thing to do is tell the truth about who you are and tell stories and just be who you are. Like you don't have to worry about the technical aspects of stand up that early, you know.
That's right.
Or trying to be something you're not. You're just, and that's why I think you've done really well with especially some of those stories that
yeah.
And I won't tell them, but
Yeah.
but the one that I
Well, you can.
died the first time I heard it was your story of the Pentecostal church,
Oh yeah.
your grandma and speaking in tongues thing.
Yeah. That story could go on for an hour because I just go through like the first part of that service, which was a real thing, and
yeah,
I mean that first part's funny, but the whole like I grew up for the first 6 years of my life, like I didn't go to preschool like other kids go to preschool like at an elementary school. I went to that church's version of a preschool.
Okay.
So like every day for like
So
6
was the
years.
Pentecostal church that you were brought up in?
That's right.
Okay. So that story is not
Wow.
just that one incident. That's like the
No.
culmination of like
yeah, we
you were
kept
around
going.
that.
Yeah, we kept going back
Yeah.
for a long time until my grandmother passed away. 'Cause she was like the one who like really wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. As soon as she passed away and everybody realized that we don't have to go anymore, we didn't.
Aw.
Because that place is weird, man. It's crazy.
Pentecostal churches are bizarre, man.
I mean, religion's weird, but that one's especially weird.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything to these people.
Right.
I mean, they're all having. It's like going to Marshall Pickens, like the
What's that?
all right, in South Carolina, Marshall Pickens is the mental institution. They look like they're having a mental breakdown. They're speaking in a language. Like they look like the homeless people who walk down the street going. They're like talking to themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like shaking and they're like not making any sense. That's what everybody in that church is doing at the same time.
Oh my God. When they're speaking in tongues, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're just saying gibberish.
Yeah.
And everybody's acting like they're saying stuff, but they're not. And then sometimes they'll bring a snake out.
Really?
There's
A
the
snake?
Snake handlers.
Oh my gosh. That's
My parents brought a 5-year-old there
that's crazy.
so I could hold a snake, yeah.
Dude,
I
I went to a couple of churches growing up that were more on the, I guess, Pentecostal side, where they believed in the spiritual gifts of like speaking in tongues, healing, and things that are, you know, I'm still a Christian, so, but like, there's a degree to which I'm like,
Right. And that's where I fall. I'm
Yeah.
religious as well. That's a crazy
Yeah.
thing. But they still teach good stuff, but the weird stuff kind of overpowers the good stuff. So it's like, let's just go to a normal place where there's just the good stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we don't have to do all this,
Oh,
dog and pony show.
yeah. Well, everybody's looking for something.
I know. But
Yeah,
I will
everybody's
tell you,
trying
it rocks in there. Like, as far as the music and, like, the people singing, they
Yeah.
can rock the house. Like, everybody's really.
Totally.
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird thing? Like how energy in a room works? Because it
Big
works
time.
same with stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up, music,
Big
religion.
time. Yeah.
And I feel like with religions, with the Pentecostal stuff especially, like they can make it an experience that is so captivating because of the energy you feel in the room that it like translates as very real to those people.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true because, like, nobody would go back if it wasn't enjoyable or if it wasn't, like,
They're getting something out
You're
of
getting
it.
something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was always a packed house and it was a big
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
It was huge, but like the healing thing, you're right. I forgot they did do that stuff too. They
Mhm.
were people in wheelchairs.
And then you kind of get addicted to the feeling more so than the message. And then that's where I get like,
so true.
you know,
That's where you get cultish because like the preacher was like everybody. He was an amazing dude. I loved
Mhm.
him to death. So nice, sweet, but he did have that energy where like anybody would follow him anyway. Like if he jumped off the
Yeah.
cliff, there was a few old
like a
80-year-old
cult of
women who would-
personality. Like,
definitely.
yeah, that's where it gets dangerous, you know, because it's like these mega church pastors, you see them, they're like celebrities, and
Big time. And they're all like, or not all of them, but most of them are like Pentecostal too.
yeah,
Like they really are. They'll do that whole thing. You're right.
yeah. You know, T-Link, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to their, they got their new show. What's it called? Certified Comics,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
where Nettles and Michael Garrick and them. I was listening to one of their episodes, so yeah, check out their thing.
Yeah.
But T-Link, I think, grew up in the church, is what he was saying, as a musician.
Right.
And he made a really profound comment about how there's nobody who has more control over a group of people than the people that run the worship bands at these churches. because he could have you crying, he could have you laughing, he could have you just based on what they play.
Right.
And it's crazy the power
Yeah.
that these worship leaders, these worship teams have in these churches.
That's
like they are
so
creating
funny.
an experience that, and it's like, where's the check on that?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
it's seriously.
You know, it's crazy. You see it in politics. You see
Yeah.
it in.
Hey guys, can you turn the music down? I'm trying to talk about God. I am God now. All right.
I am the pastor now.
Yeah, I'm the pastor now.
Yeah.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, I
never
hadn't thought of
about
that. I hadn't either until T-Link said that, and I was like, "Wow, that's true."
T-Link's deep.
People, yeah, no,
He's deep because that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guys in our band at that church were not. They were all 75-year-olds, and they
Yeah.
were playing the tuba.
See,
and,
I like
and
that.
they were playing the trombone, and
So
it's like,
just,
but they could rock it though.
Jesus loves me, and like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Take
it could be a
out.
difference. Like there could be genuine stuff. I think maybe like
Yes.
like if you're genuinely expressing your creative gifts and in a way that's not manipulative, but.
Right.
Yeah,
But
the
it's so much
cynical take is you're just a puppet master controlling this group of people.
Definitely.
That's a cynical take, which
Well, I feel like those people, it's like this is the first time ever they found out that they could manipulate people, and they were probably manipulated their whole lives, and they're like, well, my turn. And then
could be. Yeah.
who wouldn't pass up that opportunity? I mean,
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
I mean, if you have that power, I mean,
Yeah,
test the waters a little bit. You don't have to go too far.
I guess so.
Not everybody has to start a Nazi party.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just have a little bit
yeah.
of one.
Yeah. That's probably how the Nazis took off.
It's so funny.
Because you need people, I feel like to start a cult, you need people that are desperate for meaning,
Yeah.
which, a lot of people are today.
Yeah.
And
They just want to.
Nazi Germany,
Yeah.
they were really crushed from World War I.
Yeah.
Like the whole country of Germany was like shit on because they were blamed for World War I and
Right.
and they were economically very in a bad spot. So then comes along this charismatic,
Yeah.
supposedly charismatic,
With a great mustache.
with a great mustache.
Yes.
Norm
Very
Macdonald has a
recognizable.
good joke about Hitler.
Wait, let me hear that. I love Norm Macdonald.
Well, yeah, I was booked there, but the Norm Macdonald
you
joke
did?
about Hitler, because everybody says Hitler was a great speaker.
Right.
He's like, every time I see him, he's just like, clangly, clangly. Like, this guy sucks at speaking. Like, who listened to that?
That is
Isn't
so
that
true.
funny?
I love how he's so matter of fact. He's like, hey, this guy sucks.
He's like, am I crazy? Like, he just states the obvious.
Yeah. Whenever he tells a
And you laugh.
punchline, I just imagine like him thinking of that joke, sitting in a chair just like this, and like pajama shorts and like a wife beater, and he's just sitting there going, "Oh, this guy sucks."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he
this
seems.
guy sucks.
It's so easy.
Yeah, or like that's why his OJ stuff was so great,
Oh my god.
because he was just like, am I insane? This guy freaking did it. Like,
It's so simple.
unless, yeah. Or the Heisman with Charles Whitting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Did you see that speech he did with at the ESPYs or
The
whatever?
ESPYs? Yeah. Actually, no, I haven't seen it. So I know he was on the ESPYs, but
Yeah.
I think
Well, I'll
he-
tell look really quick, I guess.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I
yeah.
will just quote him the whole time, but
do it with the voice too.
he said, so OJ, the backstory of the joke is OJ Simpson had his Heisman Trophy taken away from him.
Right. Yeah.
So he said, Charles, congratulations on winning the Heisman. That's something nobody could ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case. And the whole room,
Was it dead silence or were they?
that was like, ooh, like, and then
Yeah.
they panned to like some of the athletes who, like, obviously OJ is like controversial in the black-white community. There's a lot
Yeah.
of race stuff involved with that, so horribly edgy. Like, so like some of the athletes were like, oh my gosh. like,
Yeah.
And then some people were dying, and there was like, it was just the epitome of like a
All
polarized
the,
reaction.
it was all the black athletes going yeesh, and all the white ones going yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh.
God, man. That's
So,
rough.
I forget where we were going with that, but
Yeah, what were we talking about? Why'd you get all
cults
racial?
and Hitler
That's it.
and Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like the Hitler thing though. Like this thought like hit me the other day. Somebody was talking. I think about Hitler a lot. No, this
Yeah, me
somebody
too.
somebody was talking about it, and it like for the first time ever, it hit me like Hitler didn't start the Nazi Party. He didn't create it. It was already a thing, and then it grew because of him. But I always thought for some reason like he created it, and he had to get all these people to.
I didn't know a lot about that either.
Which is weird to think about. I feel like you're taught like he was the Nazi Party, like he
Mhm.
invented it, but like
He became the symbol of it for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know why.
Hitler's fascinating. It's so funny how like everybody has a joke about Hitler.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stand-up, maybe new ones too, like us, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just go for the most provocative thing ever.
Right,
and maybe
right.
that'll get a reaction.
Yeah, go to the most extreme thing. And now it's almost like you say, like everybody has one. It almost feels hacky, but it's
does.
still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because just to have a Hitler joke would be great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking of fresh material, though, has been so hard. We were
Really?
kind of talking about it before. Like, I have that show in 2 weeks, and I'm like trying to come up with a new 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's, oh my God.
So this is great. Kirkland is very modest. He advanced to the finals of the Comedy Zone competition.
I cheated. I slept with Brian Rainwater.
So, yeah. So you have, you did a 5-minute set. I mean, how much material do you have right now total?
5.
5?
It was a
That's
perfect amount
amazing.
for me.
Yeah, well, your set went great,
Yeah.
and you crushed. Also, you have a great following.
Mm.
How many people did you bring to the show that night?
I didn't bring any. My cult came.
All this cult stuff is just
Right.
subterfuge. Like you
Right.
are the cult leader.
Yes. So, like my girlfriend actually kind of did it for me. It was like she surprised me. Like I asked a few people to come, like on Facebook, because they said promote the show.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time they told me to do that, I hadn't told anybody except for my girlfriend that I was doing stand-up comedy because I was so embarrassed
Yeah.
to tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put it on Facebook, there was a lot of like, thank God, a lot of my friends were just really nice, and they came out and supported. But there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 20 people, 30
Yeah.
people, probably,
Absolutely.
which helps a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you say, even if it's bad, they're gonna laugh just because they're so nice.
No, it's great to have that support though, man. And you've done well in front of audiences that weren't all there to see you as well. So there's something real there about it.
Sometimes.
But yeah. So I don't know when this is gonna go up. But when is the show?
Oh, it's the 22nd of July.
22nd of July.
Yeah, 2021. So
This might go up right after.
is it? Yeah.
Try to think.
I get it. That makes sense.
No, but if it doesn't, yeah, go out and check out Kirkland for that or any other show because it's great.
Yeah,
But
we have a lot of fun. Now you are the most consistent, I'd say, because like, most of the time when I go, you're there. I don't think there's hardly ever been a time that I've went to a show and you weren't there, and you are so consistent, like consistently good. Like you're getting a few, if not, mostly a lot, but like on nights where people are bombing, you at least get like the most out of anybody. I feel like anyway. So that's why I like to stay to watch you, at least. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here. Like I'm being dead serious. And it's I get mad at you because it's like, God, it's so
Dude,
easy. You'll do
no,
new
it's-
material and it works like every time. I
No,
feel like.
dude, that's not the case all the time. But thank you. That's really nice of
Yeah,
you.
man.
The,
I mean, it's true.
the night that you did great, I had one of my worst sets. And
was
yeah,
that?
when I didn't advance, we
did go the same night.
Yeah, that was really rough. But yeah, dude, you have bombing sets too, man.
God.
And it's a weird thing to kind of process, like why that happens when you bomb.
The bombing's way more fun to talk about than the good ones. I get
Yeah.
uncomfortable when somebody's like, "Oh, you did so well." It's like, you
Yeah.
feel like you can't accept the compliment. I don't know. Well, at least me. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, it's hard.
But the bombing, what do you think it is? Have you figured any of that out yet? Like
What makes a bomb a bomb? Like,
yeah. Dude,
why
'cause
it
somebody asked me the other day, is it the crowd or is it your material? And I was like, well, I mean,
it's not the material. I don't think. Always, I think that's like on the pecking order of what it is. I think material would be last.
yeah.
I think it's you.
Isn't it hard to
You failing to tap into the energy that's present right when you walk on.
right? So being present is really important.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to make them relax,
Yeah.
and
I should give
the
them all
quickest way to get them to relax is
hand
to
jobs.
smile.
Oh.
What's that? Would you say hand
Hand
jobs? Yeah, that might not be quick for all people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's that. I think it's anytime I've been like out of touch with, I was more worried about how I was going to do than I was worried about like, showing them a good time.
Yeah.
I was more focused here than them.
That is
I'm
so
focused
true.
on them and smiling. If they're smiling back at me and I'm at least making a point, it should be okay.
Right. That is true.
If they start to go like this,
they get,
or they're like uncomfortable,
yeah, they're closing up.
you can tell immediately if you're connecting with them, and if you're not, how you react in that moment is important. Like
That's so true, man. Like, God, that you just like opened my eyes. Not even kidding. Like,
I've heard all this stuff from other people. So I'm stealing all this.
That's good. But yeah, like I was trying to explain it to somebody the other day, and I just couldn't find the words, and that's really good because when I do my worst, I feel like I'm rarely looking at anybody. I'm more just like trying to remember what I wrote down, and it's almost like I'm trying to go through it.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm doing it in the mirror at home. I'm not even aware there's an audience sometimes. I'm just kind of going through it, and that's the worst nights. For sure,
I think it's a hard trick to learn because what you're saying is memorized. Yeah. But you need to like make it appear that you're saying it for the first time to these people, and that you mean it, and that you and that they can tell. And as soon as they can tell, they break down, and then they can laugh easier. Right. And then after that, it's just the laugh triggers and the jokes should be there, like just surprise. Yeah. The other reason I think I've bombed before is because my jokes are too long, or I don't have enough short punchlines at the beginning of the set to get them in a laughing, and then once you get them there, then they get, you know. That's so true as well, because I'll try to start sometimes with like a story, and it's like, okay, well, that's great and all, like the end might be really funny, but it don't take 7 minutes to get to a joke. You know what I mean? Like you have, like you said, you have to have some funny stuff at the beginning so they'll continue to listen. Yeah, I usually try to do stories towards the middle or end if I have them, and that's good. So you already have their attention. That's good. But the other thing I've been doing recently that depresses me a lot is you ever go on YouTube and watch like a late night set, like a type 5 on like Letterman or whatever from a professional comedian, and you just do a stopwatch, and you do for 60 seconds from when they touch the microphone to minute 1 and time how many laughs they get. Oh. The laughs per minute metric. And I timed one of the sets I really liked months back, and I think I had like 2.5 laughs in my first minute, maybe. Yeah. And they weren't even like crisp good. It was like somewhat of something. Right. And then I timed like Mark Normand, and he's getting 7 to 8. 7 to 8 laughs a minute. Yikes. So it's scary. It's annoying to look at that because it's like how far away we are. But I know. But it helps you, like, okay, it helps you eliminate a lot of bad ideas you might have, or at least trim them down. Yeah. And say like, okay, I should have punch here, punch here, punch here. I'm learning a lot of good stuff right now. We should have done this a long time ago. About you. Yeah. Oh, but no. Well, this is for me. This is great. I'm learning a lot. For the more you know. Yeah, this is great. I love it. But yeah. So you started this year, and you said you were embarrassed to share it with anybody. I felt the same way and everything. Really? Yeah. Why did you do it? Why? That's a really good question. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning saying the same thing sometimes. Why did you do this, you idiot? Yeah. It's because when I was like 8 years old, I was watching Dr. Dolittle. I might have told this story already to somebody else. Did I tell it to you already? No. Maybe you told it on Michael Garrick's show. Maybe so. When I was like 8 years old, I was watching that movie Dr. Dolittle with Eddie Murphy. Yeah. And I think it was the second one. There was a thing where, like, you remember, like, with DVDs, like, they have, like, the bonus features and stuff. And I was watching it, and they were talking about Eddie Murphy's career and how he did, and it showed a thing from Delirious. And that was, like, the first time I, like, realized what stand-up was. And I just thought that was so cool that he could, like, his whole job was to just walk around with a microphone and tell jokes, and people laughed, and he got paid a lot of money to do it. Yeah. And so I asked my grandmother, because she had the VCR or the VHS tape of Delirious. And I was like, can I watch it? And she was like, absolutely not. Because she knew what he was talking. He's like, F this, GD. So you only saw a clip of it on the Dr. Dolittle DVD. But and then I stole the tape, and I went home that day, and I watched it at 8 years old, and definitely don't let an 8-year-old watch Delirious. Did it scar you? Oh, I mean, I started cursing that day. I wanted to be just like him. And
But yeah, like ever since then, I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I did not have the courage to do it until I turned 25. It was like a week after I turned 25. I was like, I got to do it now or I'll never do it.
Is that why? Because 25 was a milestone age?
For me, I was like, I told myself in high school, like, you should do it at like 17 or 18 because I'd always heard like Dave Chappelle and even Eddie Murphy started when he was like 17 or 16. And, and I was like, you should do it then. And then went to college. And I was like, all right, do it before you leave college. Then I was out of college, and then I turned 25, and I was like, okay, like if you got to start now, or you'll never do it, kind of thing. So I gave it a shot, and I bombed real hard the first time, but that made it easier in a way to go back the second time. I don't know why, but
I don't think you bombed the first time.
No, I mean I didn't get 0 laughs, but to me it felt like it felt like one.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But you're super likable on stage, so like just you smiling and talking, people are gonna like smile when you start.
Yeah.
So that's great. So but yeah, dude, that's really cool. The procrastination thing is huge for a lot of people.
Oh my God. That's the worst part is I just procrastinate too much. I think most stand-ups do, don't you think?
Well, you procrastinate once you start doing once you like as a stand-up people I think we could be lazy.
Yeah.
But like just starting for the first time, I'm saying like a lot of people think about it, wonder, and then just never do it.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst thing to not do it.
That's one of the biggest reasons as well as why I started the day that I started. It was like if you don't, like somebody had said on a podcast I was listening to, it's like, well, if you don't try, you'll never know, and like you'll live with like this regret. And I just didn't want to live with the regret of like never trying it.
Yeah.
So that was another.
Bill Burr said that.
That might have been who it was too. I think it was.
Yeah, he gets like mail-in letters from people.
I think
there's so many people who think about it.
I know.
And there's a lot of people that think about like other stuff too, like people that have always wanted to start a business or thought about it, or you know, maybe I'll try this. Or
have you ever thought about anything like that outside of comedy, like something like that you'd like to do?
Yeah, but I don't know what it would be.
Me either.
Like I always thought it'd be cool. Like I always thought I would love to have, you know, but I didn't know what skills I really had.
Yeah.
To do anything.
Yeah, me too.
Like you're in sales.
Yeah.
Right? Your day job's in sales.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm about to leave this job. Hopefully he doesn't know that yet, but he's about to.
We can edit this out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, leave it in. It'd be great. He'll see it after the fact. No, he doesn't watch. He doesn't watch me. He don't care. But I'm about to leave that job to go to another sales job too. Okay. So yeah.
How do you think? Do you think sales prepared you for how you are on stage?
I'll let you know once I make one. That's the reason I'm leaving this job is because there's nothing.
You're funny.
To sell. There's nothing
you're
to sell. Yeah. But yeah.
But what is your selling style?
I'll let you know once I develop one. See, like the job, the job description was sales. He has yet to train me to what we actually sell.
Okay.
First of all, because it's like lifting equipment for like construction.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about it. And so he was supposed to train me on that, and then he was supposed to give me some people to call and blah, blah, blah. He has yet to do that. So basically all I really do is put in orders, and I answer the phone and like tell people how much stuff costs. But I haven't sold anything yet.
To the extent of what we do right now is more like sales support and
basically,
things like that.
Yeah, but I was promised commissions and sell, but we ain't gotten anything.
I gotcha.
So that's why I'm leaving.
Well, that's cool though. I mean, you have a temperament for sales, I think, for
I
sure.
hope so.
No, for sure. Like you're humble
so.
and likable. That's like you're supposed to be that way. And
how are you? Like you're a salesman though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you do pretty well. You're doing pretty well. No, how do you like it though?
Oh, I love it. It's not creative.
Right.
So like that's why I'm doing all this other crazy weird stuff.
That's a good outlet, yeah.
But it's like I asked you about it because I wanted to see if you felt the same as like this is just an excuse to say what I think about this. But
well, that's good. I want to hear it.
So sales is similar to stand up in that there's experience is one of the biggest things.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing a sales recruiter will ask you is how many years have you been selling? The first thing a stand-up comedian asks you is how many years have you been doing stand-up? It's the same.
True.
I just think it's the same reason. It's because stand-up and sales, you only learn it by doing. You could read 1 billion sales books, but until you actually go out and walk up to a customer for the first time, feel like an idiot because you don't know what to say.
That's the same as being put on under the lights on the stage, I'm sure.
It's awkward. It's like you got to learn how to diffuse the tension quickly. You got to learn how to deliver a message quickly. Don't waste their time. Read the room. Read them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of parallels, and the more you do it, you know, and it's rewarding. And I think people make money in sales because it takes courage. That's one of the big factors that it takes to like do it. And there's times where I've wimped out on sales where like I don't make the next call because like I didn't feel like, I just felt nervous or whatever. But I've pushed through enough times to do that and have an uncomfortable conversation to where it'll work out. But sales is a lot about psychology too, and like being
like you said,
aware of reading people, self-awareness.
Yeah,
like all that stuff, man. With stand-up is very similar.
It all happens in a millisecond too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can in conversations, and then sales also has like a long-term sales relationship.
Yeah,
that you can build that over time and build trust, and then those become your best customers.
Right.
With stand-up, it's like a new, really, you know, condensed window where you have to deliver. That's why I kind of like it, because it's like keeps you in check with who you are. Like, hopefully. Yeah,
it definitely does. Like, I don't know why I said does like that, but does had 3 syllables just then for some reason. But yeah, like, so did you find that I'm asking you the questions now.
No.
Did you find that like after you did stand up, like either for the first time, second time, very early on, that you had less fear, like in everyday life
in
after
general?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was more afraid. I was so afraid of stand up.
Yeah.
That everything else didn't seem that scary anymore. Is that how you felt?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My biggest fear was public speaking. When I was in high school, I was in an English class, and we all had to write an essay. And then it was like turn in the essay. But when we got in the class, he was like, now we're going to read them. He surprised us with, now you got to read it out loud.
And how'd you feel?
And he said, Kirkland, you're first. And I went, I'll take a 0. And I handed it to him, and he was like, I'm not going to give you a grade on it for real. And I was like, okay, for real. Like, I'm not reading it in front of people. I was that terrified.
Wow.
But
that was in high school?
Yeah. So public speaking was by far my least favorite thing. But after doing stand-up the first time, I was like,
that's amazing. Had you done any public speaking at all before you got on stage earlier this year?
The closest thing to it was giving my brother's, when he got married, I was his best man, so I had to give a speech, and I did type 5. I did type 5 for the crowd.
How'd that go?
It went really well, but again, it's all my family and friends, so I had to. But I made a few jokes in it.
You know what best man speech is? I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier today about those. I feel like I would be more horrified to do a best man speech than anything else.
It was terrifying.
Only because it's such, like, you have so much, like, goodwill in the room. Like, everybody's rooting for you.
Yes.
Like, you almost are expected to do well no matter what. And I feel like I would screw it up still. Like, does that make sense? Like, there's more pressure. Like,
I'm so happy.
Like, I'd find a way to blow this.
Right.
I would make this just because, like, everybody's rooting. No, I'll find a way to mess this up. This could be awkward.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm so happy I actually did that before I started doing stand-up because there was a little bit of it was like shyness, I guess, and like everybody could like feel me being like, this is the best. I'm doing my best because I don't like doing this. But then once I said the first joke, I mean, I said sweet stuff, and then I'd like end it with a joke.
Nice.
And everybody would laugh really hard, maybe even more than it deserved, because I feel like they could feel my like what am I trying to say? Yeah, like the nervousness, like the vulnerability.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
But if I was like doing it tomorrow and I went and tried to do the same thing, I feel like everybody would be like, okay, he's trying to do a bit here. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like he's trying to do stand up, but he's taking away from his brother's day.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm glad I did it before.
Oh, yeah, that vulnerability. Yeah. How do you be really vulnerable?
I know. Just be.
That's
scared.
why your best sets are usually after your worst sets, because you feel like a piece of crap.
Yeah, you feel like
you're
just
terrible. Like, hi.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
You got that whole.
You're like, oh, come
thing.
on, we like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
When somebody says,
Hitler and a rabbi walked in. Like, oh my God, this guy's an asshole. He tricked us.
Dude, that is so funny. Yeah, I mean that's so true. Like when people go on stage and they're like, "This is my first time ever." usually you kind of have the crowd for at least a minute or
Yeah.
two. Like you got them.
Yeah.
So if you're just a little bit funny.
That's a way to kind of cheat. You just say it's your first. It's not cheating.
Yeah.
Nothing's cheating.
When I go to the finals, I'm going to be like, all right, this is my first time. See what happens. See if I can get them for 2 minutes.
I would laugh hysterically at that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, gosh. Do you remember that? I don't want to like out anybody specifically, but
Elton John, we all know. He's already out.
No, it was the person that was doing stand up and she wasn't doing very well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She was a little too arrogant.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And we were like, she's got to self-deprecate. She's got to self-deprecate. Do it now. Pull the ripcord. She like yelled at the audience. She yelled at the audience for not laughing. We were like, that ain't it.
Yeah, we just kept sitting
crap
there.
on yourself right now.
Yeah, just say one thing that is not good about you instead of like, we just kept.
I hate myself.
I know. Yeah,
Just
anything. My left foot's bigger than the right one. Just say anything bad about yours, like something. But she wouldn't do it. Like the whole time she was trying to convince us she was awesome, and that just makes everybody else hate you.
It's so hard.
The only person
I feel bad because she was probably trying only to do what she knew how to do.
Right.
I don't know.
I just wonder sometimes when people do that, like, what are your friends like? Because they're probably laughing at it. So I wonder what their friends are like when she's doing these jokes to them.
Oh. Well, her friends probably know who she really is. So
right.
But it's complete
they get
strangers.
The irony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do
maybe she's nervous and projecting something she doesn't project to her friends when she's saying the same things.
Dude, we need to get her on a couch.
Yeah.
And then we just sit back here with a notebook.
As far as I know, this isn't a local comic. I think she was in from out of town, right?
Yeah, she was for sure.
I don't even know who this is.
Hopefully
she does.
Yeah.
I just remember I was dying laughing next to you as it was happening.
Dude, we were laughing so hard because we just kept going. Just say something, like anything.
Oh, so bad. I feel bad talking. I shouldn't.
Say you got your dress from a homeless guy behind a 7-Eleven, like anything. Just say something.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, just the self-deprecation is always my favorite.
Yeah.
Kind of humor, and when somebody acts like they're,
especially if it's like real self-deprecation, cause
yeah,
when you're like really at the end of your rope, and it's like
right. No, yeah, like when somebody's like that, like they're like trying to talk like they were like I don't want to say suicidal, but that's kind of what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
And then you're like, Marie, though, you can tell they're not.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Yeah,
you can tell when somebody's being honest.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's why, like you asked about bombing. That's why I really think it is. Like, if people are true, then you can tell. There's like some weird radar.
Yeah. It's very everybody has a really good bullshit detector.
Yeah.
They never met you before,
because
but they can tell.
Forces it.
Yeah.
It forces you, and it's not even voluntary. The crowd's not like
it's really
trying to not like you or like you. They have their own weird ideas and stuff about whatever, but they're not.
It's so strange how. Yeah,
but they'll pick up on like
100%. Everybody at one time
in seconds.
Yeah.
So you could either be drawn in, or you could be. Yeah. All right, this is boring. Or
I've heard.
All right, I don't like this guy.
I've heard like Jerry Seinfeld was talking like with Louis C.K. And
I watched this.
You saw that? Yeah, when he's like, he went on stage and he was bringing Jerry up and he was like, he's the greatest comedian in the world. And then Jerry Seinfeld he like thought about it for like the whole hour, I guess, because he came off and he was like, don't ever do that to somebody because that makes the bar go here. It makes the people think like, oh, this guy must not be funny.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
The audience went like, oh, really?
Right. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think Jerry was being too harsh on Louis.
I think so too. Just being nice.
Because I think Jerry could have diffused that. Oh, this is bad. I'm criticizing Jerry Seinfeld.
We know more than him, though. Be honest.
I shouldn't do this.
Yeah, we should.
Whatever. I think it. So whatever.
What does he know?
He could have just shit on himself.
Yeah.
And say, Louis, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is just a big crapshoot.
Yeah.
Well, this night could be horrible. And then the audience would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he could just do on his.
He only said that because he knows I'm about to bomb. And
or something. I don't know. That's all I would know how to do.
Anything.
That's all I would know how to do.
Yeah.
But.
Or like just, we can't say the F word here, can we?
You can. I don't care.
Well, I was going to say he could just walk out there and be like, well, Louis just fucked me, didn't he? And then just anything, really. And then it would have just solved all his problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you David Zasloff? Do you know him? The older guy.
I don't.
Who
Oh
moved
yeah,
here from
yeah,
LA.
yeah.
He just did an interview, and I think there's
Did
no
he-
censorship.
Did he break the record?
Oh, not in terms of he speaks his mind, man.
Yeah.
Let's have a
He
disclaimer at
does
the
that,
beginning of that
man.
one. Great interview. I really like
Okay,
that guy.
so all right, I can't wait for that to come out because I'm sure he has the best stories.
He does.
He's done everything.
Mm-hmm. We were talking before I had started the thing. He was telling me something about mic placement, and I was like, "Dude, dang,
Hold on a second.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, great dude. He's a guy to talk to because like all of us who are new are like, we're just kind of trying to we're searching in the dark, kind of.
Yeah.
And
he's seen like all the great people, I feel like, and has probably even talked with them, been in the same places, because I feel like he's been everywhere.
He's really smart. He's really introspective too. He was a addict.
Really?
Recovering.
Viagra addict?
He's probably still addicted to that.
Yeah, man. There's worse things.
I think he did Narcotics Anonymous. So I think it was probably cocaine.
Oh.
But we shouldn't out him on this. But
no, man.
But he does events for, and he's, so sobriety.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So brilliant dude. Hilarious.
I love him.
A lot to learn from him.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing you guys talking, and you said something about the podcast, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, that would be the most tremendous podcast ever. Like, he probably has.
I just loved it because of what I was getting out of it. Hopefully other people like it too.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. What's your biggest? Yeah, you watching the clock?
Well, I was thinking, I was like, I don't mean to hold you up. Like, I just didn't. I thought I was talking way too long.
No, dude. No, this is going. Yeah.
Oh, good.
We got plenty of time.
Good.
Oh shoot, what was I going to ask you? I always ask the biggest dumpster fire story you can think of. It doesn't have to be bombing on stage.
Oh yeah.
But your biggest dumpster fire story where everything went wrong.
Oh man, let me think.
I didn't send you the prompts, to be fair, before this. So.
Oh man, I'm sorry. No, I would listen to the podcast. I
figured.
I literally should have saw this coming. I don't know why I didn't think of one before I got here. Oh. I got a great one. All right, so this is a sad story actually, but it's kind of funny. I think it's funny because it happened to me. If it had happened to somebody else, I would have cried.
Uh-huh.
But to me, it's funny. So like on my 21st birthday, my parents asked me, because we grew up kind of poor, like I've told you that before, and they were like, where do you want to go for your birthday dinner? And I was going to Clemson at the time, and there was an Applebee's on the way to Clemson, so I was like, let's just go there. Because to me, growing up, Applebee's was like the shit. Like,
I
that's
thought so too.
The greatest place you can go.
Yeah.
That or Outback.
That was a special night. We go
but
to
Outback's a little too expensive, so we're going to the second nicest place I know of, and easily. We're going to Applebee's. So we went to Applebee's, and my parents were there, and my brother and my sister-in-law. And we were eating dinner. Everything was great. Ate the food. Had a beer with my dad for the first time ever. Like, it was a great day. And then they gave me my cake, and they lit the candles, wanted to take a picture. Even though I'm 21 years old, we did that whole thing. And
your family took the picture of you?
Yeah, dude. My mom she still thinks we're all 5 years old, but
I think I took pictures at 21.
Yeah, well, I just don't know if that's weird or not. I always feel like
I don't know.
That's lame, but like other people probably do it too, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's cool. Okay, go ahead.
So far, not too bad. But literally, we're sitting there at the table. I think we're about to get the check and leave, and my mom was like, "The reason we brought y'all all here today." Was to tell you that me and your dad are getting divorced. And I was stupid and thought it was because it was my birthday.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, at my 21st birthday dinner, they told me they were getting divorced. And she said the reason we brought you all here today, but I really and truly thought it was because it was my birthday. I guess that was just an excuse.
Dude.
But
your parents are assholes.
I know, right? They're either assholes or really dumb because they had my brother when they were 16, so they didn't really graduate high school.
Oh my!
So,
no, I didn't mean. I mean,
yeah, no.
That story though.
They're either dumb or assholes, and I'd rather just hope I just hope they're dumb. But
that is hilarious.
Yeah, but the best part is after that happened, I still went to Clemson to hang out with my buddies, and there was this girl who was like, let's get together tonight. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So I went to Clemson. I hung out with my buddies. They all left me. Well, I'm just pissed drunk, 21 years old
Uh-huh.
in college. And I couldn't find anybody. But I did run into that girl. Now, this is November, so it was really cold outside. And she
This
was
is the
like,
same night.
Same night. And so she's like, I already got an Uber for us. Let's go back to my house. I was like, okay. So we go back to her house. And when we get there, she's like, you know what? I'm actually too tired. You need to go home. So nothing
Happened.
I just walked in the door, and she decided, you know what? Go, leave. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah. Well, she lived 5 miles about 5 or 6 miles away from where my buddy lived. And it's November, 3 o'clock in the morning in Clemson. So it's like 20-something degrees outside. And I had to walk. I didn't have my phone. I had to walk all the way back to my buddy's apartment. I fell asleep 3 times walking back, like standing up because I was drunk and it was late. And I literally like caught myself walking across the bridge. Finally get back. His apartment door's locked. I can't get a hold to anybody. I slept in my car, and I couldn't run the heat because I didn't have enough gas, and then I wouldn't be able to get home the next day. So I had to sleep in my car at my 21st birthday in the 20 degrees. I was shaking the whole night. Finally sobered up enough. I drove home, and when I got home, I didn't feel very well, and I got the flu. So that was my 21st birthday. My parents got divorced. I didn't get laid. I froze to death, and I got the flu. On the same night.
Dude.
I know.
Tell that story on stage.
I did once.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You did once?
I did. Just that
I
first
might not
part.
have been there.
Just the first part.
The first part about the
parents.
Is that part of your set? Or
It is now. You just gave me.
Dude.
You got
that
me
is such
there.
a funny, like I could.
Yeah, that's so
For
wild.
some reason, I'm picturing that being like a scene, like a Judd Apatow movie.
I know.
Where like.
It's really dumb.
Like Talladega Nights when they go to Applebee's. It's similar.
Yeah. It just kept escalating.
When they're like having this nice dinner and then the dad like
has to ruin it.
Just like has to ruin it because he's like, I can't take this.
Yeah, it's too nice.
Norman Rockwell family stuff. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was high when I said that.
Yeah, I love that part. Oh hell, Ricky, I was high when I said that.
Dude, that is funny.
Yeah, that was the.
And I'm sorry the night was so horribly.
No, dude, that was 4 or 5 years ago now. I mean, it's all. I mean, I still cry about it, but I mean, it's like, no, but like looking back on it, I like telling that story to other people because it makes them laugh and it makes me laugh now too because it's like it's so ridiculous. Like, what the hell was that night? Yeah, it's so funny to me now.
Yeah, those nights of sleeping in your car,
Ugh.
dude. I used to drink a lot and.
But you're done now.
Yeah, I'm sober now.
That's so cool.
That's wow.
I like that.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. But yeah, the those nights where you get locked out of your place. I got locked out of my place once. In Atlanta.
Even worse.
I don't know where I left my keys. But I had to sleep in my car once. And then I realized the patio door was unlocked.
Oh no.
So I could have gotten in, but those are just question your life moments. It's like, how old am I?
Dude, I'm saying. Do you ever just like find yourself going, how old are you now? You're 29, 30. Okay, 32?
Yeah. I'm getting old.
32. Do you ever still just find yourself going, all right, dude, I'm 2 years old. Like at 25, I do that like almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, come on now. When's it going to click?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it ever does, but I don't know.
To me, 25 sounds old. I know you're probably like, you're still.
Yeah, you're still very young.
You know, but to me, it feels like I should already kind of have it together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah, I still don't know.
Yeah.
Therapy. That's what therapy's for.
That's right.
Or stand-up.
Yeah, stand-up's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, I like to talk.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You know.
It's great. I mean, would you say storytelling, like that's how you prefer to write your material, like from true experience and stuff? Like all your stuff seems to me to be like that.
Yeah, it's a lack of creativity, so I just tell things that actually happened.
No, it's not. No, it's very creative because it won't work unless you structure, deliver, and everything.
If I need material, I just go to Walmart and trip some old people so I have a story to tell later. So I don't have to think of anything.
Yeah.
I actually did almost break a lady's hip one time. It was an accident, but you know what? Those jewels.
Yeah. I used to be addicted to those.
Yeah, I'm still.
You still jewel a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Are you fiending?
No, right I can go an hour. My girlfriend's the one who can't. Sorry, baby, she can't go 45 seconds. Yeah, like, it's bad. But
you can jewel in here if you want.
No, that's all right. It's all right. I'm not trying to, all the kids watching. But
5 people watching.
Yeah, I literally those the like the blue or the orange, whatever flavor you have, they have different colored.
Uh-huh.
Where you take it off so you can put it in
The pods?
Yeah. So I had one in my pocket, and I went to take my keys out in the Walmart parking lot, and the topper, like the blue thing on top of the pod, fell out of my pocket, and I went, nah, fuck it, being an asshole, really. And my girlfriend was like, aren't you going to pick it up? And I went, it's on the way back. If it's still there, I'll pick it up. It was a bad move on my part. I mean, that's stupid to do that. I should have just picked it up. We were walking out of the Walmart, and I swear to Christ, there was an old lady on her side laying in the parking lot with the buggy flipped over. And I was like, what the hell happened? And she was going, the cart got stuck on that thing. And I looked down, it was that little thing. It like hit the wheel, and it like jammed it, and it like did something, and while she was pushing, and she like fell over with the whole
Oh
car.
my god!
And I was just like, get in the car.
you left?
I swear to God, I just got out of there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So,
dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's like
that was bad.
It's like a banana peel.
I know. It's like, who the hell else is this happening to? Like sometimes little stuff like that will happen. I'm like, all right, dude. Like, why me?
Priceless. I'm jealous. I wish more stuff like that happened to me.
My brother, on a daily basis, if I tell him a story, he goes, "You're the only person this shit happens to. You know that, right?" And he's like, "Why do you always get in these?"
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I think I'm just dumb. I'm dumb, and I hang out with the wrong people, and they're all nice people, but the dumbest shit happens to us, and I don't know why that is.
I feel like you a fan of Seinfeld?
Oh, big time.
Yeah, you like that show? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of relationship to me between like meanness and humor, and I like mean humor. I like,
too.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. Like how inconsiderate. Like you telling the joke about the old lady. Obviously, the old lady loses in that joke. You're a dick for littering and not picking it up. Yeah. So Seinfeld, if you look at that show and you study it, so like the four of them are four selfish
sociopaths,
a-holes, sociopaths. They all have their own quirks. None of them are really likable.
Right.
What makes the show funny is how they get in these weird situations and they end up losing at the end, I think.
Right. Yeah, they do like almost always lose in the end.
Yeah, like George always something's messed up. Like the girl, shrinkage.
Right.
Kramer has stuff work out for him, but he's an idiot and like
so it's like lovable idiot. He doesn't even know he's being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they're not people you would look up to, but for some reason that's the greatest sitcom of all time.
Absolutely.
And then what was cool, I thought about the finale. And an English professor told me this at Hillsdale, which I thought was brilliant because we were reading Pride and Prejudice. Have you ever read Pride and Prejudice?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well it's a novel.
But to be fair, I can't read. So.
No,
as an English major, I couldn't read.
Quit shitting on yourself. I know what you're doing. You're just trying to be funny. That's a mechanism.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm just a humble. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh shucks, I don't know nothing about anything.
I don't know about
I'm just a
newfangled
small
books and such.
I'm just a small town pizza fan.
I'm just just working people.
Yeah.
No, but okay. Sorry. So the Jane Austen novel, we're talking about that. It's kind of a book about nothing. There's a lot of nothing that happens.
Oh.
So I was like, that kind of reminds me of Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. And the English professor thought about it, and he said, yes, I know Seinfeld. He says, I'm not particularly a fan of... He didn't like the meanness. He didn't like that the characters were so selfish.
Okay.
But he said what was really interesting about the finale, if you know how the show ends, they all get arrested, and they get sent to prison. So it was like
the worst
Larry David was saying as the close of this chapter, this is no way to live.
Right. Yeah.
And everything that was at other people's expense. Like there was literally testimonies of all the characters they had screwed over.
Yeah.
Just going up one after the other saying they did this, they did this. Yeah, you very bad men, very bad men. And all the audience and the jury was like, "Oh, this is disgusting." And they
that's what makes it so fun.
They made fun of a fat guy.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of
in the
stuff
finale. Yeah, so there's a weird relationship I feel like with humor and like I like that stuff, but there has to be like underneath it they know that it's not serious.
Right.
You're not really after people.
Well, you know, like
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Like your professor brings up a very good point, and all of that is true. But the thing is, like, for him to say, like, I didn't care for that. I didn't like the meanness of the characters. It was the most popular. Everybody has.
I don't know if he actually said that. That was kind of a take I had, or like how it felt to me.
Oh, I feel you.
But he studies Shakespeare, so we might be like, why am I gonna?
Yeah, and all those characters were saints.
Yeah. No, they weren't. No.
I mean, come on, man. No. Like meanness. No. That's why people like stuff like that. Like people love seeing people's dark side. That's why there's so many serial killer documentaries out there.
Yeah.
People.
Well, everybody has a little bit of that dark side in them. And
they're just
to call
interested.
it out, acknowledge it, and wrestle with it is kind of fun to watch.
They like seeing normal people like seeing stuff like that because they like seeing that somebody actually felt the same way they did about something, but they would never act on it. And somebody actually did it, and they're like interested to see, like, well, I wonder what that felt like. I wonder what that was like, and why would they do that? Because these, you know, I'm not saying, you know what I mean, right? Like, I'm not saying people are sitting there watching it going, I wish I could be a serial killer. They're just interested to see, like, how did you bypass that part of your brain?
Women especially, man. Have you ever noticed women are really into serial killers?
Dude.
Serial killer documentaries?
Yeah.
Like they're watching there's the Ted Bundy one, I think, where Zac Efron plays Ted Bundy.
They were in love with him.
Yeah, well, in the movie too, and in the real life story, I understand, of his trial, the women were like obsessed with him.
Loved him.
They were like, oh,
yeah.
Can you chop my head off, please?
Yeah, right. I want to be part of the collection.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like,
I think women like dangerous thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They say like they want to change them. They want to see if they can change them, and it's like Ted Bundy though.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty far gone.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd get halfway done chopping her head off, and he'd be like, you know what? I did like this one. I am changing.
He sold me back up.
Yes. Sold me back up. Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah.
I actually liked her.
Freaking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that because like Charles Manson had the same thing, like where women would like send him
love letters
and pictures of themselves, and it was like,
that's crazy.
That's weird, man. I don't get that.
I think
there's Night Stalker, same thing.
Yeah, I think there's something about like the dark part of your personality, the shadow. They say. Yeah. You heard of that?
Yeah.
Clinical psychologists talk about that.
Scary.
I've gotten all this off other podcasts, so I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
But it's basically being in touch with, because like every human being has the ability to be dangerous.
Right.
Like you've been really mad before.
Sure.
I'm sure.
But never to the point of ever once thinking about killing anybody.
No.
I don't get that. No. That part just doesn't exist in my brain, I don't think.
But I think to be in touch with that kind of like you're aware of it, you know that part of you exists. You're not like just trying to be nice all the time.
Right.
So you have the capability of using it, but you don't. You hold back.
Why not try to be nice all the time? That's another thing I don't get.
What's that?
People ask me, why do you smile all the time? And it's like, as opposed to what? Like, I don't, my brain doesn't work that way. I don't understand why you wouldn't try to be nice to people.
Do they think it's not real? They think it's
fake,
basically?
Like they're just like, why are you always happy? And it's like, I'm not always happy, but I might as well just pretend to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no reason not to be. Mm-hmm. Or not to pretend to be, at least.
I get that all the time, too.
You're just burdening other people with your shittiness. Mm-hmm. So just smile and pretend to not be.
Yeah.
You know. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
I am like that, too, kind of. I smile all the time. People say I laugh too much during...
No.
I laugh a lot.
There's no such thing.
I laugh at when people do bad.
Dude.
Because I can tell what they're going through.
Right.
Like, it's okay, man. But
I love that. I love that when I go on stage and I tell the first joke, if it doesn't land and I hear you laugh, it makes me want to laugh so hard because I'm like, yeah, you felt it too, didn't you? Like you felt that like, oh, like shit. I thought that was gonna work.
It's funny to do that with other comics, and nothing against that joke you told or whatever.
Right. No. See, that's the beauty of it because then I wouldn't want people to fake laugh and I would keep telling a shitty joke.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it better to bomb and then hear your laugh. Because then it doesn't feel like a bomb anymore. It feels better. It feels like
like we're just having fun.
We're sharing a laugh, and it's more fun. Yeah.
So
that is good.
Yeah, we were doing a thing in Atlanta at the Laughing Skull. Matt Addy,
I love him,
dude,
man.
you should sign up.
I love him. Dude.
Laughing Skull in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I will.
I wasn't asked to do it or anything. We can all sign up or whatever.
That'd be great.
It's a really cool room because it's a Atlanta Metro, like they pack it out every night. And this is really cool. They have resident comedians.
Yeah.
And they have these in big cities like New York or LA, but in Atlanta they have it too, where there's like every night of the week these comics are paid professionals. They'll be like in the lineup. So like even the open mic nights, they'll have like really good comics. So even if they have beginners, like the show's gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah.
And they have their own separate green room and stuff.
That's better.
But anyway, what I was gonna say about the host, he and this is why like even really good comics have jokes that don't work sometimes. He made like a joke at the beginning and it didn't get a laugh at all. And then we like a lot of us were backstage. That's where you wait to go on there,
right.
which is really cool. You feel like a real celebrity comic. You feel like But as that joke bombed, nobody laughed in the crowd, but we were laughing behind
in the back. Yeah,
that he could hear. And then he's like, "You hear those assholes laughing? Like that's what comics do when jokes don't work." We were just like, "Oh!" Like we knew. We knew. We're like, dude, that bombed.
That bomb was the most fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
dude, sometimes people bomb though, and I have to leave.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it get so uncomfortable. Like sometimes it's funny.
Especially
Especially when you know them.
It's not always. Yeah.
Like if it's one of us like that we know, it can be kind of funny. Like they'll get off the stage and they'll even like go whatever. But if you don't know them and it gets real uncomfortable, like it gets racial or something, and they're white, especially, I gotta go.
If edgy material bombs, it's the worst.
Yeah, I applaud
because you can't.
Like they tried, but
you can't even positively respond at all because it was so offensive that like everybody has to be silent.
Yeah, if you laugh, everybody's gonna look at you like what the hell's wrong with him? Yeah, but I do applaud the effort because I get scared to do anything even close to being edgy, which it sucks because I want to do stuff sometimes, but I get too scared. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I get scared. I'm like I'm scared to turn on me. Yeah, I'm scared people are gonna turn on me or think I'm a dick. And
you should still try it.
Yeah, you're right.
You should still try it.
That's one thing that I still gotta get over is, I mean, not everybody's gonna like you, and that's hard to take because I want that.
Do you want everybody to like you? Me too.
So bad.
Me too.
So bad. Like I will do anything, and I've tried almost everything.
Please,
I will.
Please like me.
I only like people who give me rim jobs. I'd turn around, buddy. Let's try
like the exact same. Like, I'll do anything.
Yeah, I'll do.
Is this funny?
Yes.
Want me to dance? I'll do anything.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal.
It reminds me of The Office with Kevin.
Oh.
When they decide to not sell him cookies.
That's right.
Like, you gotta sell me cookies.
Gets
I'll
those
do
knees.
anything. Hello, baby.
He does do that. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that's right. He does. He gets so pissed that they're not going to sell him cookies anymore.
Yeah.
Please. Oh, that's exactly.
I feel the exact same way.
I'll do anything.
Like I want I want validation so much.
I just want my dad to hug me once, and then maybe it'll end.
I had a great relationship with my parents. I have no excuse to be this messed up. I don't even know.
I did too. I had a great relationship with my parents. I love my parents so much. They're the best people.
Your dad
in the
did
world.
hug you?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
A little kiss every now and then too. No, but he's.
Yeah, we made out.
I might have went a little further than that. We rounded third a few times.
The way you said that reminded me of Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect.
Hey, maybe we were.
Dad molested me.
Maybe crossed second base a few times. I was like, hey, maybe a sacrifice fly. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but. But no, my parents seriously though are like the best parents. They're so great. Yeah. Sucks that it didn't work out for them in the end, but I had to kill them. But they were no, but they're great, dude. They're fantastic people. They got they got married when they were 16 and had my brother when they were 16, and they had me at 22. Could you imagine being 32? I went to my dad's 30th birthday party. I remember everything. I was 8.
Oh my god!
My brother's 13.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know, right? And like my grandparents are only like 62. Okay. Great grandparents are also alive except for 2.
That's a blessing.
For 3, yeah.
You know, my grandparents are still alive on my mom's side, not on my dad's side. But to have young, grandparents, young parents,
and my brother just had a baby a week ago too.
Oh, congrats! Your uncle.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have any other nieces and nephews?
No.
No?
It's the only one.
Okay.
It's my first
What did
one.
that feel like?
Oh, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. That was the greatest thing ever.
Uh-huh.
I almost cried.
Really?
And I'm not afraid to admit it. Like, he is the coolest little baby in the world. His name's Cooper. And I love him already. And it was just the weirdest thing in the world to be like, my brother just turned 30. And he has a baby. Because I still picture him as like an 18-year-old, like that punching me in his old Camaro on the way home from school, like bullying me.
Yeah.
But like now he's an adult with a baby, and he's the greatest dude ever too.
Yeah.
My brother's so cool.
It's weird how that biology kicks in.
I know.
Because my little brother has 3 daughters now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's 30 as well. He's a couple years younger than me.
Yeah.
And I love my brother.
Yeah.
But he and I butted heads a lot.
Big time, right?
Yeah, rivals. Like,
yeah.
we fought a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I wouldn't expect to, like, just fall in love with his daughter immediately.
Right.
Necessarily.
Right.
I was like, oh, she's okay. But,
yeah, she's pretty cool.
Josh, you know. So.
Yeah.
Josh watches this. I love you, Josh. You know what it is. It's what it is.
It's
just
he's going. I know what you're talking about, man. He's agreeing
I hate
with
you too. Stupid ass podcast. I think everybody thinks you're insane. Well, okay.
It's the name of the game.
I don't
means
know.
It's working.
What this is. But anyway, she was born, and as soon as I saw the thing, like on FaceTime, as soon as it was a real human, I was like, oh my gosh.
I know, it's great.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And now he's got 3 of them.
Oh,
so
he's got 3?
Mm-hmm. 3 little girls, and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's something about like I think our biological programming, like your family, like you have this instinct to protect. And I can't imagine having my own kid. Like I think that would be like next level. Like
God, I can't imagine.
You know,
of like love.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I've never. I can love anything more than myself.
I was about to say, I can't imagine loving anything more than me.
That's how you live single.
I know, and I barely love myself. So yeah. So, do you ever think about that? Like, do you want kids and stuff, or like, or you do? Okay, I just wondered.
I do now because of them.
Mm-hmm. It looks cool.
I think I have to.
Like, part of
I'll
me,
be too much of a dick if I don't.
Right.
Because I can't think about my own self
anymore.
Much. That's how I feel about it. Do you feel like you want kids?
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted kids, but like.
And you're doing better than me. You're in a committed relationship, right? You got how long you and your girlfriend been together?
4 years. Yeah, it's 4 years now.
Heck yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah,
is a relationship similar? You got to think about the other person.
Dude, it's tough sometimes because I am a little selfish. Where like I like to do what I like to do. Mm-hmm. She was my first girlfriend. Because in high school, I was so determined to not go that way and just do whatever I wanted because I saw guys in relationships and they can never come hang out or they can never go do this.
I got
you.
That,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Totally.
And I was like, I'm not down for that. Like I'd had relationships, but we never dated.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, anyway, like when I got to college and stuff, I was still the same way. Like I just want to do me. But when I met her, I was like, well, she's the greatest ever. So like, I want to lock this down.
Yeah.
But being in a relationship, I've like had to make a lot of like sacrifices and stuff that I want to do, but it's all for the best. Like it's not really like it bums me out at first to do like to not do what I want to do sometimes, but it's for the greater good because I have more fun hanging out with her anyway. So that's good. But sometimes I do struggle with it where it's like, God, I could be at the Comedy Zone right now and just hanging out. Yeah. But it's fine.
You're better off in the long run, I think, with a relationship and a spouse too. Yeah. I think marriage is definitely good. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. Some people like now are like, I don't believe in marriage anymore. It's antiquated. I don't think it is.
No, not with the right person.
Right, because I think you need that. You could go insane if you're just by yourself all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember being single and sometimes sitting there going, it would be nice to like be with somebody and not just be alone all the time. Yeah. But, no, it's great. I love it. Like, I like to talk shit and make fun, whatever. But in all seriousness, it is awesome. I do love it. It's great. She's great.
So, you going to propose or?
Oh, yeah, big time. Very soon.
Like, ask that quick.
Very soon. I can't say when because then she's never going to watch. She doesn't like me enough to watch this, but she doesn't even know we're dating. I have just this weird, like, I'm stalking.
That's just a girl I see her.
Yeah, I'm just going to run her down on the street and be like, will you? Hopefully she's desperate enough. No, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty soon.
And you definitely want kids. It's all.
Oh yeah, big time. But that I'm worried about that conflicting with this stuff, like with doing stand up and everything. I feel like it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
To do both, but I know a lot of guys do it.
Uh-huh.
But I guess it's tough. To get out.
Yeah, Louis C.K. talked about that. He said stand-up was very different before and after he had kids.
It helped him a lot, though.
Oh, it totally did.
He wasn't super duper famous. Like everybody knew of him. I feel like, but he didn't get famous till after.
Yeah, well, I don't even like his old stand-up.
Right.
Have you ever watched it?
It's pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
He did the same set like over and over again, and it was not that great.
Yeah, he just was too. I don't know.
It was clever.
It was clever and stuff. It was like weirdly like I didn't like him.
Right. Yeah.
I just didn't like him. But then
I mean,
later,
about personal stuff. It was
when he like had kids and thought about and he challenged himself to write work and stuff and
yeah,
just who he was came out more and he was more honest, I think, and just all this cool stuff. And then he became the biggest comic in the world and got canceled.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Right when I feel like right when he was hitting a peak.
Yeah.
It happened.
2017 was that he was like top of the world. He could do anything. Any movie that he did, like people wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do films and stuff too.
Right.
But yeah. And I love that. Well, obviously, I love that he got canceled. Yeah. In a way, because of how it humbled him.
It did humble him a lot.
And I'm excited for like how he continues to like do stand up. And
right.
I think people do better after they fail. So
yeah.
But
I agree with you.
Yeah. So do you got to go?
I don't have anywhere to be. I'm worried about you more than me.
Well,
I don't know what you got going on.
Well, we're over an hour.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Who's your favorite comedian?
God, I think it's Louis. I mean, he was
really.
Yeah, I really do think so. Yeah, I think it's Louis. And like, I'm always scared to say that. I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
And that's how much of a fan I am. I don't even know where he's at. But like, damn, I was so jealous. That's like a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
And Chappelle, I want to see him too. But Louis is my favorite.
Yeah, dude.
He says the most. It's kind of like Norm MacDonald, where like he'll say a punchline, you're like, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
It'll irritate you how simple but beautiful and perfect it is. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All three of those guys, they're pretty edgy, pretty fearless.
Yeah. And that's just everything I'm not right now, like not fearless.
All three of those guys too have kind of gone off the reservation.
Yeah.
Because you think about Louis getting canceled, Norm got fired from SNL.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Or hearing about that?
Yeah, I've seen
And then Chappelle got offered the biggest contract in Comedy Central history and went to Africa.
That's the most commendable.
So these three dudes all, took nosedives at peaks of their career, sort of.
I love how Chappelle almost canceled himself.
Right.
Where he was just like...
Chappelle just did not want to live up to the corporate expectations of what his show would become. He was like, F this, it's not what I got into it.
Yeah, he was like, I see where this is going.
And they all kind of do things on their own terms, too. Right. Louis has his own website. He has his own stuff. Doesn't care.
Simple.
Not going to bend the knee to whatever.
Simple genius move right there again.
Mm-hmm. I wish Norm had some more stuff going on right now. I haven't heard from Norm in a while.
Yeah, we should check on him.
You got to read that book, dude.
Yeah, I'd love to, actually. I actually watched him talking about that on like Howard Stern or something. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, it's really hard to pin down.
The Forward by Louis C.K. So there you go. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's some good
names on that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that novel's good. It's like talks about Norm doesn't ever do anything straightforward. Like what you think he's doing, he's not actually doing.
Right.
There's something else that he's trying to do.
Right.
You can't really understand it fully because he thinks memoirs about, like, if you're a celebrity writing a memoir about yourself, that's really like self-aggrandizing and arrogant.
Yeah.
So his is really silly. There's stuff in there that is not true. It can't be true.
Right.
Like, he has a story about a kid who did a Make-A-Wish thing, and the kid told him his Make-A-Wish was to spend a week at the SNL cast, but then the kid just, when he got alone with Norm, he said, that's not really what I want to do. I want to go to Canada and kill a baby seal. And I know you're from Canada, so I need you to take me on this whaling boat, and I want to kill the baby seal and watch the life come out of his eyeballs. I want to just kill the... And Norm was like, what? Like, he's like, all right, we're going to Canada to kill a baby seal. That's in there. Like, what is this?
It's genius.
Yeah. It's just absurd.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy, and there's some deep truths in there, like really weird things that
I can't wait.
Supposedly he's writing another book. But yeah, nothing is as it appears with Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part of it.
Uh-huh.
I keep saying the word beautiful, and I don't know why.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Comedy's beautiful.
Comedy's beautiful. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
What other questions do I ask you people? I always ask, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice I've ever received?
Uh-huh.
It's probably from my grandfather, who said, if you put a belt around your neck while you jerk off, it feels better. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Appreciate you bringing the jokes, man.
Yeah. No, best piece of advice. All right, it's two pieces probably that both apply. The first one is, what are you doing? You're thinking too much. Like, don't think so hard about something.
Yeah.
And the other one is, what are you doing? Use your head. Which both are like conflicting, but
yeah,
sometimes again, that's really dumb, but it's kind of simple. It's like sometimes I'll be doing something and I'll have to sit there and think to myself, like, what are you doing? Like, just don't think too hard about this. And then sometimes I overthink a bunch of stuff, and it's like, just relax. And relaxing is the biggest thing, because I have all that anxiety, and like everybody does, but like sometimes the anxiety and the what's the other word I'm looking for? See, I'm getting anxious trying to think of the other word. Anyway, it'll like get to me, and then I'll make things either too complicated, or I make a really dumb mistake. So trying to find that happy medium between use your head and don't think too hard about it.
Dude,
that's a happy medium.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It's hard.
I totally do, because I overthink things. And I also do really stupid crap.
Yeah. Sometimes when I try too hard, that's when I mess up the most.
Yeah, it's like you have to just, the basic parts of your life, just have a level head.
Yeah. You're too smart for your own good.
If you're trying to do something.
Yeah, like most of the time you hear like.
Do you find like the stuff where you're like, the overthinking is like when you're more making a big decision, or you're doing something creative, or you're doing something out there.
Yeah.
That's where you're overthinking?
Me, it's the opposite.
Okay.
I overthink the smallest, most minute
the small things,
things, and the big decisions, I don't think at all.
You just go for it?
I just go for it.
Well, that's good.
That's good, but also bad.
Well,
it can be bad, but it's mostly good. I agree with you. But like the thing that irritates the shit out of most people that are close to me is that I just worry so much about the little small things that don't matter, but like the big things that everybody else stresses about.
Well, give me an example. What do you worry about?
Backing a car up.
Oh, okay.
I know for a fact. I've been thinking about it since I got here. I parked in this small ass parking garage, and I'm going to have to back out of there. And if I wreck my girlfriend's car, I'm in huge trouble.
Gosh.
And nobody would think about that.
Do you have an OCD?
I don't know. Maybe.
I wonder if I do. Yeah,
but see, that's a big thing to worry about. Like, do I have OCD? I don't think about that. I just think about the big things in life. Like, I feel like people at my age are like, all right, I need to get a really good job, and I need to get a really nice house and a really cool car. None of that stuff matters to me. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's, can I get this car out of the little tiny garage?
Yeah.
And, like, something else really small. I'm trying to think of small things, but, like, it's always something that nobody else cares about.
Yeah.
Like, am I walking weird when I'm walking down the street? Is somebody looking at me? And I'm always, like, adjusting.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Do you agonize over your stand-up, too?
Big time. Like,
how does it feel? How are people perceiving this?
Yeah, and I'm always thinking, like, how can it be better?
Yeah.
And that whirlwind of thought can sometimes, like, drive me, like... That's the only time I'll get depressed, probably, is, like, when, like, I can't figure out what I want to do on stage.
Yeah. You ever meditated?
I've tried.
You've tried?
I've tried.
Just didn't work?
Being alone with my thoughts is no place I want to go anymore. No, but like it's hard to like when I get uncomfortable, anxious, or anything. The first thing is let's watch a YouTube video and stop thinking about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being alone with my thoughts, it's not a bad thing, but it's just like it makes me anxious to be in silence.
Yeah.
Which I need to get more comfortable with that, I think. But
yeah.
Do you do it?
No, I haven't. But I thought of that because other comedians do meditate. Jerry Seinfeld does.
That transcendental meditation.
Yeah, that kind of tripped me out. I was like, is this weird?
Yeah.
Cultish?
It seems weird.
I don't know.
You start speaking in tongues in the middle of it.
Yeah. Back to the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But I feel like it'd be helpful because, like, I feel the same about the anxiety of, like
I don't know what I'm...
self-doubt, all that stuff.
Self-doubt is the...
Self-loathing.
That's the word. I haven't been able to find it, but self-doubt.
Yeah. And
no confidence.
I'll write stuff and then I'll take a nap every time before.
Really?
Every day before. Like I'll take a nap today probably.
Yeah.
Like
and do you write every day?
Or
try to as much
I
as
don't
you can.
sit down and I write in my phone when things happen that are funny.
Nice. That's good.
I
like
I have like a little folder in OneNote and each like a folder for stand-up, and then like each little tab is an idea.
Yeah.
So
you got some good stuff in there. Actually, I remember you showed me. There was something really good in there.
Some of the stuff's horrible. Some of the stuff you wake up the next day, you're like, it's freaking idiotic.
Oh, of course.
But
have you ever written one word and you're like, I'll remember what that means, and then you'll go back and read it and go, what the hell is this?
I wrote 2 words the other day. Ocean boner. Do you think that's funny? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like, dude, please, next time you go on stage, just go, ocean boner. And just, anybody, is that funny? Something? Is that something?
It was a misreading of a
ocean boner. Is this anything?
Yeah, there was it was at a hospital.
Wait,
trouble for this.
Hold on. You heard ocean boner in a hospital?
Yeah, so somebody misread the chart. So this isn't the person's actual name, but it was like somebody had named their kid Ocean Boner. And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, Ocean Boner? And I was like, what else goes with that? Like, it's not size that matters. It's the motion of the ocean boner. That's in there.
Oh my God. That is fantastic.
I don't know.
I love it.
But
anything,
that's stuff like that.
As long as I hear ocean boner at some point in time, I don't care what the context is, I'm going to laugh.
Like whales probably get ocean boners.
Ocean boners? Dude, ocean boners. Holy shit. That's what the ocean got when it saw the Red Sea parting. It's like, I can fit my ocean boner right in between.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
The Israelites were the ocean boner.
That's right.
Because the sea.
It opened up right
Moses is the ocean boner.
Yeah. That's what it's like to have sex with a girl on her period. Because you're Moses with your staff, and you're parting the Red Seas at that point.
And the Israelites like put lamb's blood on their door to like the plague pass them. Yeah.
We don't want the ocean boner to come all over our door, so we're gonna go ahead and paint it this.
Oh my gosh!
This is a no cum zone, ocean boner. Why's that voice the thing?
Dude, I'm definitely.
That's what Israelites think. Say.
I'm gonna talk about this.
That's good.
That's so dumb.
Should probably cut all that out.
Dumb. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. What do you about you? Do you write in a notebook? You write
dude, I try to, but that's another thing. Like, it's counterintuitive almost because I get so anxious that I'll like give up and then I'll procrastinate.
Yeah.
But it's mostly, I think we've talked about it before. Like, I like to listen to people and hang out with people like my friends and stuff and joke around that way. And so, like, if me and you were sitting here having a conversation and you said something like ocean boner and you weren't a stand-up comedian, I would be like, ocean boner? Like, where did that come from? Oh, man, I was in the hospital and somebody named their kid that. And I'd be like, I'm taking that little bit and I'm going to put that in my head. And I'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Put pieces together. And
yeah, Jerry Seinfeld had a quote that was, ideas are like mice that wander through your house. And your house is like your brain.
Yeah.
And when one comes, you just kind of step on his hand, like, nope, there you go.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah. Want to take that one?
Yeah, and you write it down, and then. But they come and go as they please. It's not like they're always flowing or they're not always not. Like there might be a time when you don't think of anything, but then you do.
Right.
He's like the king of metaphors.
He really is. And you know what? That people who can do that, I admire them so much.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes people will be talking on a podcast and then they'll be like, it's like somebody said this one time. They're like, it was like stepping in a puddle and you're wearing nothing but a sock. It's like a wet sock in a puddle. And I don't remember what they were talking about, but it totally applied. And I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
I was like, that's
great
perfect.
bits are like that, man.
Yeah.
You say it in just the right way that like triggers like, yep, everybody agrees that's what it's like. And yeah, Mark Norman writes a lot of his jokes like that, like is like analogy, stuff like that.
Yeah, which is, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Those metaphors are, I mean, they're perfect usually. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Takes a lot of time to get those just so, but.
We have to talk like this so we know the episode's coming to an
I don't know.
We're both doing it. That's why I
like,
said it.
Yeah.
We're both going yes anyway. I guess that's the end of it.
I never know how to Joe Rogan's podcasts go for like 3 hours. Huh?
Yeah.
We could keep going, but
well,
you got dinner.
No, I got some old ladies to trip at a Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got some sharpened carts to flip over.
All right. Well, dude, this was really fun.
This was really fun. I really appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah.
I love the podcast.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate it. Before you aren't on social media that much, are you?
I'm trying. I'm on it now.
Okay.
My girlfriend runs my Instagram account.
She does?
She runs the whole thing.
Nice.
There's no pictures.
So follow Kirkland on Instagram and DM his girlfriend.
DM her. DM her, especially
What is your
if you're
Instagram?
attractive.
If you're attractive?
I'm trying to see how much she really loves me. Yeah, it's at Costco Kirk, I think. It's at not Costco. Like, because they have the Kirkland brand. Yeah, I have to explain the joke because it's that bad. But it's
what? At not Costco?
It's like at not Costco or something. She came up with it all.
Okay.
I just don't want to take
How many do you have like pictures and stuff on there yet?
Not yet. She finds me incredibly unattractive, so she doesn't want to post anything until there's a good one, I guess. But let me see if I can find it real quick.
At not Costco.
Yeah, let me make sure that's it before I tell you. Yeah, no, it's not. It's Costco Kirk. Sorry. COSTCOKIRK, all one word.
You have more followers than anybody I've ever seen that has absolutely nothing on it.
Because she's running it.
No,
she knows what she's doing.
That's a good quality to have. You're not spamming people. Like I have too much on mine, and I don't.
No,
whatever.
No, I want mine to look more like yours because you have a lot of content. I like that.
Well, hopefully it's, yeah. But good stuff, man.
Thanks,
do you have
man.
a YouTube channel or anything?
No, I don't right now. But I want to do kind of like what you were doing, like putting your stuff up there with some videos that you do. I want to basically take over your life.
God help you if you do. It's not working.
Man, thank you so much for having me, buddy.
Yeah, dude. We'll have to have you on again for sure, like I said.
That'd be fun, man.
Good luck on the 20, what is it?
22nd. Yeah, the
22nd of July.
Yeah.
Just going to go to the finals of Comedy Zone. So
yeah. If I win, I get a part in a movie with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Well,
it's not the real Tom Cruise, but
what do you get if you win, for real? Don't you get a guest spot or something in front of a celebrity show?
Oh, really?
Something like that.
Well, then I hope I lose. Too much pressure.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again, man.
Thank you.
See you guys next time.